Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Matchup Preview Show with your host, Thrills Alexander. Now, this week we bring you just loads of content just like last week. I want to say thank you for all the kind words I heard last week. The show was seemingly a rousing success, so we're going to keep that going this week. Keep the momentum flowing. As we all know, momentum is contagious. And I've got a fever for it. And the only prescription is more matchup show. So here we go. Last week we were 4-2. Couldn't complain one bit. Saw Basington Ball pick up the dub. Wood Boogers pick up the dub. Dwayne Hicks pick up the dub. And right now we're in the process, 9:37 in the evening, watching the Philadelphia Phillies pick up a W for Zach Eflin. And potentially... well, the potential victory would give him the victory over Nada Army. And that's not a shame in my book right there. So, looking at what we see this week, could I go 4-2 again? Could I go 5-1? Maybe 6-0? I don't know. And I just want to say, Benson and Big Ant, Benson, you really let me down, man. I don't know what to say there. Going up against the rook of the league and 3-10 is what we're seeing in the final score looking like it's going to be. That is heartbreaking and just pathetic. Ryan Martin, on the other hand, one of these weeks, it's going to all come together for you because, as I've said in the past, you've got a good team. But Anthony this week, just like Florida over Georgia last November, we saw Anthony just, pick up a dub. Pick up the dub. Go on, pick up a 8-6 victory as it is right now at this point in time. So, week 5, we've got some more intriguing matchups. I look forward to seeing a couple undefeated squads going toe-to-toe, a couple buddies going toe-to-toe. Maybe the new guy can pick up another dub over a team that's stumbling going into this matchup. Let's start it off right there with Avoid the Noise up against Rye Walk. That's where I want to start because the rookie picked up the first dub last week. Nobody can be upset about that. Everybody is thrilled. I'm glad you're really, grasping hold of the importance of this league and understanding, hey, I can't sit back with somebody injured in my starting line and be like, oh, I thought I had a spare move. Ma, come on, man. Come on, man. Everybody knows how many moves they've used at any point in time. It could be 9:30 at the night, and I'm doing something else, cooking dinner, and somebody could be like, how many moves you use this week? 3. I got 4 left. I'm going to use them for spot starting later. Boom. Just like that. Everybody in the league knows. You should know as well. All right, but I'm not going to hold against you because it didn't really matter. You were crushing Bedell, and... lots of people in the league like that. But you're going up against a guy this week, another league stalwart, another league legend. Not for victories or anything, just because he's been in the league so long. We're talking about Avoid the Noise. Now, Avoid the Noise, you are a first week of the year. Man, my thrills, I think my team is awesome. I love this team. 3 weeks later, my team sucks. Haven't won in 2 weeks, haven't won in 3 weeks. At least picked up a tie somewhere along the lines, but unfortunately, it's just all downhill for Big Green. Looking to just totally kill, not getting saves anymore, just say fuck it, move on, pick up starting pitching and go for victories and everything like that, and then his pitch this week. I can respect that, try to upgrade the offense, I can respect that, but you've got to do something because you've got the most wins in the league right now. You've got a top 3 ERA, top 3 in holds, top 3 in Ks per 9, and it's not like Glass Daddy can be contributing to all of that information and all of those statistical just greatness right there. So you've got some quality in your staff right there, buddy. So maybe you need to do something with those starting pitchers. See if you can get something from them. I know right now everyone in this league is tight. So this is just a PSA to the league. Your own players are not 10 times greater just because you own them. Mitch Haniger is not on the level of Ronald Acuna Jr., even though he's on my team and he's kicking dick right now. I have to understand that I should not send you a trade of Mitch Haniger for Ronald Acuna and a relief pitcher. I understand that. Everybody else in the league needs to wake up and realize that it can't be all dick you over for dick you over. All right? It's just not going to work. We're going to be sitting here looking at the waiver wire on our own squads all year long, with the exception of one William Baseball who's like, I don't care. Let's sling some trades. He's like the Mad Hatter out there. Personally, I love it. Him and Code Gnomes. Keep it up. But Big Green, you're going to have to do something because your staff is too good. You are wasting the quality of staff you have right now. And 2 of those guys on your staff right now probably could go right now. They're day-to-day. I'm talking about Brady. I'm better than Sonny the Gray Singer. And Ryan Weathers, David Weathers' son. If you guys remember, David Weathers, a relief pitcher back in the day for the Brewers and the Reds. Pretty quality dude. Now, you got to do something with those guys right there. Dump them, IL them, do something. They're clogging a valuable space right now, and you need that space to be Rywalk, who it's, once again, congratulations, picked up your first of the week. You need to go ahead and drop Didi. There's no reason in God's green earth to have Trey Turner, Bo Bichette, and Didi Gregorius on your team. What good could that possibly be doing? There's got to be somebody else out there in the waiver world. So on Monday, I know you can't do it now because you're out of moves, 7 out of 7. I'm aware of that now. Everybody else in the league is too. Do something about Didi. You've owned this team for over a week and a half now. Do something about Didi because there's no needy for him to be on your squad anymore. Belly with his leg fracture. Is he going to heal? When's he going to be back? That's some knowledge you need to know. He might be somebody you look to trade. See if you can trade an injured star in Cody Bellinger. Bank him on somebody who thinks that they can get him, I'll wait him out. I don't need him right now, but I'll use him down the line. See if you can do something along those lines. But right now, I don't see you doing much other than picking up a dub this week, just like you did last week. You had Benson done by Friday. I think B Green's going to give up a little more fight, but avoid the noise. He's been so sad and depressed and despondent about his team that I don't see him winning this week. I'm sorry, buddy. I picture Ryan Walker getting 2 straight dubs. Good job, Walker, Texas Ranger. Ba-bang, bang. All right, moving on to our next matchup. Let's just go to the man that Rywalk beat last week, and that's Crason. Crason going up against Mr. Pickles, Jaycock himself. Now, Mr. Pickles, as we sit here, once again, 9:43, top 7. Mets are trailing the Phillies 4-2, and Zach Eflin, not Zac Efron, not that beast from Baywatch and other quality movies like High School Musical, but not Zac Efron, Zach Eflin. Now, Mr. Pickles, you are still undefeated as of this time, and I gotta say, I'm proud of you, man. You made it another week. But the trade finally came through. The trade we were all waiting on, the trade we messaged back and forth about, has finally come through right there. Last night, 2 nights ago, Lindor and Pistol Polar Bear, Pete Alonso going in exchange for Joey Gallo, Emmanuel Clase, and David Peralta. Not a trade I would have made. And I'll tell you why. Because you should have found some pitching on Billy's team that you could have taken. Right now, you have got the 4th worst ERA, the 3rd worst whip, the overall one of the surprisingly worst staffs in the league right now. Worst stats in the league, and you elected to only add one player who's only going to throw about 3 innings max a week. I would have done more. Billy Baseball's got Aaron Nola. He's got, who else does Billy Baseball have? 3 quality pitchers just at the top of his rotation. Trevor Bauer, you could have gone for him. Joe Musgrove could have gone for him. But you settled for none of those. I would have swapped out Peralta and taken one of those guys. Or maybe just taken Bauer straight up for both of them. See if you would have done that. That would have helped out your team more than what you got this week, buddy. I think you made the trade that we are waiting on, and I think it's going to backfire on you. Is it going to backfire this week against Crason? That's doubtful because it's another week and it's another L for Crason. Not yet have I deemed it that way, but I can say, looking at his score right now, it's 10-3, and he's not beating Walker, Texas Ranger. I have seen some signs of life this week, though. Have seen some signs of life coming out of old Bedell. He had a lower ERA, a lower whip, and a higher K per 9 this week in his matchup than he's had than his season averages all year long. Trending in the right direction. We saw Spring the Dean come back this week. Make huge. First game back, he was already hitting a home run, if I'm not mistaken. Hit 2 the other night against the Bravos. So in his first week back, he's hitting already 2 or 3 multiple home runs on the season. Something he really could have. Think about that. Could have used that last week, and he would have picked up the dub against one Basington ball with those spring there. I told you last week, when they come back, it'll help out. It wasn't enough to help out this week, unfortunately, because he just got smoked from start to finish. Matchup, as I stated earlier, was over by Friday. This matchup, though, I don't expect to over by Friday. This matchup, I was very inclined to pick Mr. Pickles to pick up the dub from the jump, but this seems like, again, this is Ben's. Ben can't go to 0-5. I'm really on the edge of what to do here. I love Jaycock, love Mr. Pickles. Hate that trade right now personally, which means the trade's probably going to work out perfectly in his favor. David Peralta might go on to have a silver slugger type season. So I'm going to go with Mr. Pickles here. Where's my green marker to X? Green for go. Mr. Pickles is going for victory. So let's go from Mr. Pickles and his undefeatedness onto a team with total defeatedness. I guess we could have segued from Crason to the other super defeated, only winless team, Drank Thomas. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, Dranky. Just hoping for epic comebacks on the weekend is not a recipe for success. Your team crushed the ball on Sunday, 16 for 35, 13 for 31, 6 home runs, 11 RBIs, 88 total bases. Still wasn't enough to pick up the victory over Basington Ball this week. Clearly, your starters are the ones doing work because you have no holds, and you're one of only 5 teams in the league with less than double-digit saves right there. So you just got to say, the relievers are not doing anything for you right now at all. So you're going to have to look to upgrade somewhere there when you're making one of those trades with Billy. Your offense, though, bottom 3 in average, bottom 4 in OPS, top 2 in steals. Your team has speed, no power, no real hitting ability. If your team could get on base, they would steal more bases. Think about that. But you have a real struggle right now. You might want to be one of those few teams out there. I got starting pitching, and just dangle it out there for the peons, for the peasants to try to jump for and collect right now. Because you got KB, Billy Baseball, loving some KB action right now. I know he's really regretting trading him for Luis Robert. And Drank is really enjoying having him this week. But Chris can't do it all. You're going to have to find somebody to compliment him, Cody. And you're going to have to find somebody real fast. Are you going to find somebody fast enough this week against Corporal Dwayne Hicks, who's now won 2 games in a row? Boo. We did not want to see D-Har be a man that's on a mission right there, moving up the standings. D-Harp's team, though, already mentioned Anthony Rendon. Could have used him last week. He's back this week, back with a vengeance, already contributing to that final score victory over Avoid the Noid last week. I don't think Anthony Rendon's going to help in a category where only Avoid the Noid trails him in stolen bases, or one of the only teams in the league with a over 4 ERA. But Anthony Rendon's going to help him out in other places, in home runs, in RBIs, in batting average, in OPS. Anthony Rendon is still the real deal. Maybe is he 2.5 years ago, Anthony Rendon? Probably not, because everybody's career goes to die in the Los Angeles Athletics, or Los Angeles of Anaheim Angels. Everybody's career really goes there to die unless you're Mike Trout. I do love the nice saves hold mix Corporal Dwayne Hicks has going on. He's roughly bouncing out right there, staying competitive in those categories each week. And with Anthony Rendon coming back full speed like I've just harped on, I see you picking up the win and sending Drank Thomas to 0-5. Drank is really going to need to just sit back and drink some Coronas and some High Lifes and some Four Locos. Get in the Anthony state of mind so that way maybe you can pick up a dub going forward. All right, let's go to talking about the Ant state of mind. Let's go ahead and talk about the Ant state of mind and the matchup of Flag versus Flippin' Not Mixin'. Now, I know it's going to be something the opposite of Flag, but I'm unfamiliar with what would be the opposite of Flag. So, I'll wait for Anthony to fill me in on what he's going to be next week. But for now, we're just going to call it the opposite of Flag. And the opposite of Flag is just a man that won't stop, can't be stopped, should be 4-0, could be 4-0, sitting at that lovely undefeated table with Basington Ball and Mr. Pickles and Woodburgers right now. And his starters are the ones that are carrying his team, doing the heavy lifting. He has no saves, no holds on the year whatsoever. There's only 5 teams that have less saves than him as well. So he's not doing anything with his relievers. It's the starters that are carrying his team, which is a typical Anthony squad. Barely enough starters and pitchers to fill out a roster, but still doing enough to carry his team towards playoff proximity every single year. Offense is definitely one of the worst ones in the league, though, with a bottom 5 OPS, a bottom 5 average. I wish that he would do something about that. I would love to acquire one of your starting pitchers, Anthony. I'm just saying, I'm the man creating this telecast right here. Would love to own a starting pitcher. Feel free to trade him on to me, because you don't have any really quality offense to speak of outside of Fernando Tatis on the overall team stats this year, so you might want to do something about that. Because the man you're going up against ran into a buzzsaw this week. Flag ran into a buzzsaw against Woodburger, or he would be 3-1, I believe, going against another 3-1 team. He's got the highest K per 9 in the league, and it's not even, number 2 is very close to him right there. He's offense is better than first. Is right around where he's been the first 2 weeks. When we look at his average and his OPS this week, it's right at his over. So there's not going to be any surprises for AR. He knows what he's going to get each week. It's going to be about a 748 OPS, 750 OPS, which is going to equate to about a 260 average with about 8 to 10 home runs. Can you win successfully and consecutively, rhythmatically, momentously in this league, putting up those kind of numbers, Alex? That's not something I think is going to be successful here. You're going to have more pop than that on a week-to-week basis. And your staff, And we know Alex is not one of those guys that's going to offer you shit for a shiny dime. You know, he's not going to shine up a dime and offer it to you for a dollar bill and a piece of gold. He's going to offer you something quality for something quality. Try to help out both parties. To try to make a trade equitable and fair for both sides, which I appreciate, and so does most of the league. He's going to have to do that real soon because his staff is too good to just be wilting away looking at that offense of no-name bums right there. Nick Castellanos went 5 for 6 today. Praise Jesus. He needed that because his matchup was already one of the worst beatdown in the league by scorecard. It was closer than it looked if everybody goes and takes a deeper dive. You look at 210, you're like, oh my God, Alex, you got destroyed. Tied for home runs. Destroyed in ribbies is correct right there. But other places and total bases, 5 or 6 away. So Alex put up a bigger fight, but his ERA below 3. Once again, K per 9, above double digits. Whip below 1.2. So Alex is doing things pitching-wise, not doing things offensively that are enough to succeed in this league. And that's why I think that Flag is going to be victorious over Alex this week. Flag, you're going to go to 4-1. Excuse me, Flag opposite is going to go to 4-1. Flag himself will go to 2-3. All right, that's going to take us to the matchup of the week, I believe, and that is Basington Ball versus the Wood Boogers. The Wood Boogers, both teams undefeated. Both teams coming in with high-powered something. Billy, all pitching. Basington Ball, all hitting. This is when worlds collide. Worlds collide. Are you ready? Yes, we are ready indeed. Let's go ahead and talk about Woodburst, the man of many trades. Top 3 innings pitched, wins, saves, ERA, whip, K per 9. Number 1 in half of those stats. That's why Billy Baseball is undefeated right now, folks. He could be, the rest of the BFFL could be his offense, and the man would still be undefeated because his pitchers have been so good. His streaming pitchers have been good. We saw the Dylan Cease pick up that his opponent even commented on, said that might change the week. It didn't really necessarily alter the week. It still would have been a victory with or without Dylan Cease, but Dylan Cease was just one example of Billy just touching, boop, beep, boop, 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 pushing the right buttons and making his team successful. Now, on the other side of that coin, some might even call it the flip side, his offense, bottom 4 total bases, bottom 4 OPS, bottom 4 average, bottom 4 RBI. So what does he do? He looks out in the trade market and says, I'll take you, Francisco Lindor. I'll take you, Pete Alonso. What does Pete Alonso do? Hit dingers. What does that equate to? More total bases, higher OPS, better average. What does Francisco Lindor do? Well, prior to this year, hit home runs, hit for about 275, 280 clip, get you some stolen bases, OPS over 800, RBIs, almost triple digits in Cleveland. This year, obviously, he's doing a fraction of that, but we know he's an all-star talent. We know he's going to turn it around. Billy looks at his team, assesses his needs, has a few beers, and it gets those needs accomplished. So, Billy, you're going up against this week a team that's just choo-choo, full power ahead, because as many times as we can say you're in the top 3 pitching-wise, this team, top 3 runs, home runs, RBIs, total bases, average, OPS. The one category he's not top 3, he's top 6, and that's stolen bases, right there, middle of the pack. Flip his coin over, pitching. Bottom 3 innings pitched, bottom 3 wins, bottom 3 ERA, worst whip in the league. This staff can barely throw the ball from the pitcher's mound to home plate without it getting knocked 2.5 miles out of the park, or by missing home plate by a good 1.5 feet. As Bob Uecker might say, just a bit outside. And that's exactly what his staff is looking like, just a bit outside of being acceptable. Now, he's still getting saves and holds. But his K per 9 is below 10, which is a very unthrills-like team. He's always had a couple of relievers, but everybody knows King and Live Arm on that squad. And with the K per 9 below 10, it's one of the worst in the league right there. He's going to need to address that, but as you saw with this Sunday with streaming Carlos Martinez, K per 9 at 3.38, those must not be. Those take back seats to needs for innings pitched. Now, the Snell is looking like a former shell of his Cy Young self, and that's the ace that he really needs to turn around. If Blake Snell can go more than 5 innings and give up less than 3 runs in a start, or 2 runs in a start, or 5 walks in a start, that would be terrific for the future of this squad right here. But I've got to say, Woodburgers has already gone 1 week where he hasn't won. I think he's going to go another week this week where he does not win. I'm not saying he's losing. I'm just not saying he's winning. So I'm taking Basington ball here. Basington ball. And for our last matchup of the day, we look at Mix It Up. Oh, I think we've already talked about Mix It Up. If we have not, we're going to talk about Mix It Up and Nada once again real quick. Mix It Up, Rymart. Can the man get some help? Can just somebody help him out? If we all recall, the man was 0-5 a few years back, finished the season 5-5, got into the playoffs. But he's got a middle-of-the-road staff. It's 5-5, about 5th to 7th in each category. It doesn't matter where you look. He's 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. So he's not standing up. He's not falling back. He's just right in the middle, hovering in mediocrity. Probably one of the reasons you dropped Chris Paddock, the sheriff. We knew a name. He sounds great. Somebody's going to pick him up off waivers, looking at just his name, and that's on them wasting a waiver claim right there. Offense, top 3 OPS, total bases, RBIs, and home runs. The team can hit. The team can hit. The team could just pitch just a little bit better. He would just be on a roll right there, and I feel sorry for being in his division. I wonder who is in the Mix It Up division. Oh yeah, it's this guy right here in that Mix It Up division. Now, the staff is going to be a problem because Corbin and you can't do it all. We saw Corbin get COVID, come back, look pretty half self, not his full self. You still going out there striking out 15 guys in 3.5 innings, things that we expect. But there's nobody else in that staff who's doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. Charlie Morton, sometimes he looks 38, sometimes he looks 28. When he looks 28, that's not a compliment. That's just saying he was wild as hell when he was 28 with the Braves looking like shit. This week you're going up against Nada. Now Nada, poor Sav Dog, another week, another non-W. Boo-hoo. I'm so sad for you, except I'm not. But don't blame it on the starting pitching though, because they are one of the top squads with innings pitched and saves and whips and K per 9. Now they're not really they're racking up quality innings pitched, but the relief pitchers are the ones that are really kicking it into high gear right there. Because his starters are giving him good innings, his relievers are giving him great innings. His offense right now is too really meh. He's got the Rymart pitching for his offense. It's just it's not top, it's not bottom in anything. It's really just mediocre. I can't get excited for it. I can't even get a half chub for it. It's so unexciting. It's that stripper at the club, with the stretch marks, and she's a little overweight. You kind of feel sorry for her. You give her a few bucks to go away. And you're like, oh, that was great. Thank you for your time. That's what his offense reminds me of right now. But he does have a top 3 average, so at least his team can hit the ball pretty regularly, I would say. Is he going to be regular enough to be victorious this week and again Mix It Up? I don't think so. I think Mix It Up finally hits his stride, finally kicks up a dub this week, gets away from teams that are just crushing it on fire like Anthony, myself, and Pickles have done, and he gets a victory this week against Nada. So to recap, we got Mix It Up winning, Rywalk picking up another dub, Hicks picking up a dub, Big Ant picking up a dub, Pickles picking up a dub, and Basington Ball picking up a dub. That's going to wrap it up for our matchup preview show here. Just like Bryce Harper, you hit me in the face, I'm getting right the fuck back up and just walking to the dugout. Except I'll be on a stretcher and I'll probably be dead. But that's all I got to say about that. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you next week. Matchup preview show out.